Michael here. So as I'm unboxing this grinder, I just want to say I got this at a pretty good discount at SCA. I wasn't really in the market for a new grinder, but it caught my eye. It was kind of cheap and I ended up liking it. So I made a video. I hope you enjoy. This is the Femobook A68 conical coffee grinder. I'm just gonna tell you about it, why I bought it, why I like it, what I don't like about it, and then, yeah, buy it if you like it. I like it. This is a conical grinder. It's all aluminum, it's held together by magnets. It's really cool. I like that. Here, the top comes off, front little fascia comes off, the catch cup, rubber mat on the bottom so it can be nice and smooth. The funnel comes out. This is where you can see the brushes. It's really cool. There's a little bit of retention with static, but it's easy to clean. I like that. Here's the bean chute. It's where the beans fall in from the hole at the top. It kind of also covers the grind chambers so you don't get popcorning. It's got a little safety switch here, or the pin for the safety switch, so you can keep your fingers free from the burrs. It hits this little switch in the back. And then you can pull this shaft up and pull the grind chamber out. That's really cool because it's easy to clean and you can get to the back of the burrs, wipe that down, blow and sweep all the chaff and other dirt out of the top of the grinder. It's really cool. Other thing about this and why I like this grinder a lot, aside from the magnets, is everything's aligned in the chamber. It's got the bearings and the shaft and everything. The burrs are perfectly aligned already. So you don't have to worry about making sure that this is aligned and this is aligned and this is aligned and this is aligned and this is aligned. It's all here, just like a hand grinder with a motorized attachment. It's probably the same design, and I don't think that's a bad thing. Goes back together the same way. You lift this up, the little chuck on the motor, slide this in, making sure the white dot is pointed forward. And then to engage the chuck to the grind chamber, to the burrs, you just kind of twist the bottom and you can see it or hear it click. From there, you can put the little bean chute cover thing on, put the, not the catch cup, the bottom burr funnel, catch cup, funnel at the top, and the front little piece. And that's it. It's pretty easy to put together. That's also really fun to do. That's probably why I bought it, because it's really fun to just fidget with. That's all I did at the booth at SCA when I bought it. I bought it because it was, 1, discounted, 2, it was fun to just play with, and 3, I wanted like a nice conical grinder. So I took it home with me. How does it do? It's a coffee grinder. As far as workflow, it doesn't need RDT. There's no really issues with beans sticking. I mean, I don't really see scratches. It's pretty resilient to bumps and bangs anyway, and even then, like if you like touch it with, you know, the other metal parts, those marks, those go away. It's not a big deal. Everything is like really great. Workflow is really nice. You don't need a lot of puck prep. I don't. I just go from the catch cup to the portafilter, straight to the machine, and pull beautiful shots. Unlike the bentwood, that requires a lot more puck prep. You have to do a lot, and there's some weird retention issues, but I mean, does it taste as good as the bentwood side by side? No, but I don't really ever do like side by side shots. I just wake up one day and this is the grinder I'm using, and I'm making a single espresso for myself, and it's really good. So am I like, oh, I wish I would have done it on the bentwood. It would taste so much better. Like, I don't ever think that. I don't really ever think that with any piece of gear I have. I'm really happy with whatever I have. And mostly because I'm using really good coffee. So you start with something great, like a coffee. Anything else is just like, oh, cool. I'm sure it'll taste great on this, so I'll use it. I'm sure it'll taste great on an origami, I'll do that. I'm sure it'll taste great on a bentwood, I'll grind it there. I'm sure it'll taste great on the Vectis or the R24. I'll pull the shot over there. In the end, it's all really tasty. Really, the reason is, does the process and workflow make me feel good? Does it reduce the friction to get from beans to cup easily? Yes, and that's all I look for. I don't want to fuss with stuff. I don't want to have to worry about a million things or worry if something's not going to work the next time I use it, or worry if the machine is too hot or too cold, or if I didn't do the right steps right, or if there's retention, or if the grind size shifted, or if I got too much or too little grounds or whatever. There's a lot of stuff I don't want to worry about, and those are the things that I probably think about when choosing a grinder or when I choose the gear, is all the little points that like make me worry and doubt if the coffee that I made is going to be good or is good or not. So this doesn't really give me any doubts. Bentwood, a little bit of doubts. As far as like things I don't like, motor, it's kind of loud, it's kind of whiny, it's got some gears, like high-pitched gears. Even when it's on, like it has a weird sound, like it's pretty solid, but you do hear the higher pitched whine over the grounds being crunched. There's a little bit of rattling, especially if this isn't like perfectly magnet aligned. Compared to like the Cafetech, that's, you know, magnitudes or, you know, levels above this, but they had like a nice low hum in the motor, and you could hear the grounds being crunched and churned and whatever and ground into coffee. It was really nice, and it's a really nice experience, and that's, you know, I like that. This, well, sound, you get over it. It's still fun. It's still nice. Like it works good enough, and you know, if you don't like that, then maybe you won't like it. The other part is the power supply. It's big. Quite big, a lot of cable. Maybe you can buy a shorter cable because that's like a normal like NEMA connector. But hide it. That's it, just hide it behind some plants under the counter. And if you can't, because it's too big, buy another grinder that's bigger than this, and then you'll probably just worry about trying to hide a giant grinder like a Bentwood. When it comes to gear purchases, buy something that makes you feel good, makes you happy, reduces the friction that you don't want when making coffee. Also, start with great coffee. Buy good coffee, support good coffee, and then just enjoy it, have fun. For the price, there's a lot of competition, there's a lot of options, and you're just gonna have to compare if this fits your needs compared to other cheaper flat grinders like the Zf and all those. There's a ton out there. Or if you just want filter, I don't think I like this for filter. Bentwood's on filter right now. I prefer it way more, obviously, but I even prefer like the Commandante C60 more for filter than this. But you know what? This is for espresso. It's really great for espresso. It could do well for filter if that's all you want. I don't think it's hard to go back and forth. It's hard to remember where you were, which is fiction. You know, like the Bentwood, it's easy to remember. I know like espresso is like 150 and filter is like 650, 800. So those are little things. Those are like what I call friction. Is it easy to remember where you were? Is it easy to know like how many clicks to get like 10 more seconds of your shot? Or, you know, to increase your shot extraction or whatever. Do you know that? Is it easy? Is it intuitive? How much more prep work do you need to make your puck pretty and pull evenly? That's friction. Is it easy to load? You know, is this gonna come off? Is it easy to dose coffee? There's all these little things, and to me, there's not a lot of friction when it comes to making coffee with this grinder. And what I get out of it with that the trade-offs of like the noise and the big power supply, it's enough. I really enjoy everything else. Like I know that the grinder is gonna be perfectly aligned even when I take it apart. I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about like making sure this is all perfect and using shims and stuff. I'm not great at that. So I had doubt, and that doubt is friction because I'm like, oh, this coffee's not great because I'm sure it's just not perfectly aligned yet. So yeah, in the end, choose what makes you happy, and the looks, like this makes me happy because it's pretty. There's too many options out there. They're all gonna be great. So pick what you want. This is another good one. I really like it. And I think they're doing really cool stuff. So yeah, enjoy.